Hello, good morning, my students. As we are studying, today's topic is the life process. As we have begun yesterday with the life process, we have studied the basic meaning of the life process and what are the different life process which are given for your syllabus. So this today we are going to see the life processes in detail. Once again, I will repeat you. In the yesterday's class, I have shown you criteria to decide whether something is alive. So, if you want to say something is alive, then what are the criteria is needed? So, it must be a movement, and movement it should take place in internal movements as well as in the external movements. Internal movements can be seen as which will take place inside the body by the molecules, and external movement can be say as the movements which can be visible to our naked eyes. So in the second slide I have shown you about this. Let's go to the next. Life processes are of meaning. The meaning of life processes are the basic processes and the living organisms which are necessary for maintaining their life. The basic life processes are nutrition, respiration, and transportation and excretion. We have all seen yesterday. So, nutrition, respiration, and transportation and excretion, the four life processes, and with the diagram we have shown in the slides. Just you can see, go through the slides. The first slide, the first picture shows about the nutrition. Nutrition means digestive system. And second one, respiration. Respiration that consists of the system, respiratory system. And the third one is excretory system, and fourth one is excretory system. In the fourth diagram given the excretory system of all human excretory system diagram. And the third one is transportation, circulation of the blood throughout the body. So it's a very important. Let's go in detail study about the nutrition now. When we say about the nutrition, what is meant by nutrition? Nutrition means what? So first of all, we should know the meaning of nutrition. Nutrition is the process of taking food. What it is? The nutrition means it is the process of taking food by an organism. When an organism will take the food or intaking of the food and utilizing it by the body is said to be nutrition. What is nutrition? Nutrition means taking food by an organism and utilizing by the body to build the body, for the growth of the body, to repair the parts of the body by an organism through the yielding energy. When we eat food, we will get enough energy. Every food except the roughage, every food what we will eat, the nutrient food we will eat, it will yield finally certain amount of energy. That energy can be utilized for building the body and for the growth of the body and repair the damaged parts of the body, and that energy can functioning the different works by the body. So in this way, nutrition is a very prominent for all the living organisms. To remain alive, to remain a successful life, to live on the earth, the organism should go for nutrition. So lack of proper nutrition or nourishment causes weaknesses in the body. So let's go the nutrition. Life on earth depends on carbon-based molecules. Most of the food are also carbon-based molecules. The outside raw materials used by living organisms are food, water, and air. So what are the very important? The outside raw materials used by living organisms are food, water, and air. These are the three important concepts we all depended. All the living organisms are dependent on the raw material, that is food, water. So water and air can be taken from externally from the nature. And what about the food? In the case of taking the food into our body, it may self-prepare. It can be prepared by some organisms, and some organisms not have the ability to prepare their own food by using the raw materials. So based on this conflict, there are two different types of nutrition modes. The first mode of nutrition is autotrophic mode of nutrition, and the second one is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Autotrophic mode of nutrition is auto means self trophic nutrition you can call in another wise. So what is self? So it is a part of nutrition mode in which organisms prepare their own food from simple inorganic substance like carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. All the green plants and some bacteria which have the chloroplast, they have the ability to produce their own food. My dear students, we know all this from the basic, from childhood, while you are studying the primary section itself. Autotrophic means one which have the ability to prepare their own food by using the raw materials. Those are called as green plants. And the second one is heterotrophic nutrition. This is also another mode of nutrition. Here, in this mode of nutrition, you can see that organisms not have a ability. Those are organisms which are not having ability to prepare their own food, so they need to depend directly or indirectly from plants or parts of the plants. Such mode of nutrition are called as heterotrophic nutrition and is said to be animals, fungi, and some bacteria. So this is about the second mode of nutrition. And let's see, in again the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, their types are there. Seeing the types of heterotrophic nutrition, there are three main types of heterotrophic nutrition. They are saprophytic, parasitic, and holozoic nutrition. That's what is the meaning of this. First we say what is the meaning of saprophytic, parasitic, and holozoic. That we are going to see now. The first one is saprophytic. Though the organisms are directly or indirectly depend on plants, that also in their dependence, the nature of dependency, how did they depend, on what basis, how they will depend, based on the depending nature of the organisms. There again we have three modes of nutrition. The first one is saprophytic, and the second one is parasitic, and the third one is holozoic. Let's see the first one. What is saprophytic? Sapro means dead and decaying organisms. The organisms which feed on dead and decaying or parts of the organisms. So the organisms are feed on dead, saprophyte. Sapro means dead and decayed, dead and decaying one, which will depend on parts of the organisms. Such organisms are said to be saprophytes, and such a mode of nutrition is said to be saprophytic mode of nutrition. For example, mushroom, bread mold, yeast, and some bacteria. In the first slide, you can see that you can have the example of mushroom. I have shown the mushroom in the first slide. So you can see there agaricus, and this mushroom is always grows. Where it actually grows? Have you seen the mushrooms growing place? Yes, many might be. They usually grow in the where all garbages or all the waste of plants, animals were dumped. So in that, so you can say for simple, in the manure where the organic manure will be formed, in that place usually grow. For example, the mushrooms can grow in the fields where many wastes of plants and animals will be remain as a residue in that such place. So where the land is highly fertile, rich with the manure things, such places you can see the mushroom in the rainy season. So this is about the mushroom. Mushrooms will considered to be saprophytes, feed on dead and decaying parts of the plants as well as animals. And the second most important is parasitic nutrition. So what is parasitic? Para means they are present inside in the organ, inside the cell, inside the organisms. So their ability to live individually, they need to depend on another organisms. Not only depend, they need to live inside the organism and other organisms. So it is also a second mode of nutrition. Is a nutrition in which organisms get their food from living organisms, or you can call that is host, without killing them. Example, cascata, orchids, ticks, lice, leeches, roundworms, tapeworms, plasmodium, etc. My dear students, you might have very well known about the roundworms. Roundworms is usually found in the early childhood because most of the children, especially up to the age of 6 to 7 years, they will be find the roundworms in their fecus. What is this? The roundworms which are present inside the intestine of our body. So these roundworms will feed the food which is prepared and completely prepared by our body, and they will grow inside our intestine. There are some benefits of roundworms also is there. Along with that, they feed our food, and that's why most of the children in that age, particularly to 7 to 8 years, they becomes weak. Though they eat heavy food, then they becomes weak. Why? Because of this roundworms. So this is the case that you can call. Their doctors will give us certain medicine for them. Now government is providing the medicine tablets for every child to treatment from such type of the roundworms, and lice, leeches can be seen. So some parasites were present inside the cell of the parasites, inside the cell of the animals too, the roundworms. And next you can see the example of orchids. Orchids is one of the plant parasite, which always grows on the tree branch, old tree branches, and it hangs its roots in the air, and it attaches to that tree trunk, and it will grow inside that tree trunk itself, and it draws all its necessary required food from the host. So in this way, orchids in the plants and roundworms is an example I show you for that. And the third very important one is holozoic. For your syllabus, this diagram is a very important. They will ask the question for you. Draw the diagram of amoeba. One question. And next one is, what is holozoic mode of nutrition? Explain. And the third one, might be given a question. Explain the mode of nutrition in amoeba. Very important 2 marks question with diagram you need to explain. Holozoic mode of nutrition. So is a third type of nutrition in which organism take food directly and then digests and absorb it. So hollow means fully. Hollow means fully. Means completely. They will take food directly and completely engulf the food. So for example, if I want to tell, if the amoeba will come closer with any such type of the food to its body, it first engulf all its food and take it into the cell and then digest it and then go for absorption of the nutrients, then skip it out through its cell. So in this way, amoeba, parameciums, birds, fishes, humans are considered to be holozoic. As usually you can take example of human beings, we feed first. We take the food directly and we will digest that food, and then after digesting what we'll do, we'll go for absorb and assimilation of the nutrients by the villi of the intestine of our body, then removal of waste from our body. So in this way, holozoic mode of nutrition, human being is also comes under the holozoic nutrition. So I have seen the three different type of heterotrophic nutrition. First one is saprophytic, depends on dead and decaying waste. The second one is parasitic, grows on host and drives nutrients directly. The third one is holozoic, is a feed food directly and digest and then absorb it and eject it from the body. These are the different types of nutrition. So in this concept, a very important question is about holozoic, and they might ask question about meaning of saprophytic as well as parasitic. So my dear good students, I'm going to close here. So thank you once again. Be ready for the next class. Share to our friends. Bye. Goodbye.